James Van Der Beek's co-stars share heartbreaking tributes after his death at 48. The entertainment industry is grieving the devastating loss of one of its most recognizable faces from the golden era of teen television, James Van Der Beek. The actor who defined a generation through his role as Dawson Leary on Dawson's Creek has died at the age of 48 following a battle with stage 3 colorectal cancer. News of his passing broke on Wednesday, February 11th, sending shockwaves across Hollywood and among fans worldwide who grew up watching him navigate love, heartbreak, and coming-of-age struggles on screen. Almost immediately, social media transformed into a digital memorial, filled with grief, gratitude, and deeply personal tributes from those who knew him best. Van Der Beek's death marks not only the loss of a talented performer, but a man widely remembered as kind, grounded, and fiercely devoted to his family. For many, James Van Der Beek wasn't just an actor, he was Dawson Leary. When Dawson's Creek premiered in 1998, it quickly became one of the defining teen dramas of its time. The show captured the emotional intensity of adolescence with rare sincerity, and at its center stood Van Der Beek's earnest, film-obsessed dreamer. His performance resonated deeply with audiences navigating their own teenage years. Dawson's vulnerability, ambition, and romantic idealism became cultural touchstones, and Van Der Beek became a household name almost overnight. He later expanded his resume with roles in films like Varsity Blues, proving he could carry major studio projects beyond television. Yet even as his career evolved, he never lost the identity fans connected with most, the thoughtful storyteller from Cape Side. Behind the scenes, Van Der Beek had been fighting a far more difficult battle. He had been diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer, a diagnosis he faced with courage while continuing to prioritize his family and work. Though he shared aspects of his health journey publicly, the full weight of his struggle remained largely private. Those closest to him would later reflect not just on his bravery, but on the grace and perspective he carried through his illness. Within hours of the announcement, an outpouring of tributes began, first from close friends and co-stars, then from across the broader entertainment world. Actress Sarah Michelle Gellar expressed deep sorrow, reflecting on their shared experience, rise into fame during the teen television boom of the late 90s and early 2000s. Her message focused on the fragility of life and the heartbreak of losing someone who felt like part of the same creative generation. Nikki Reed shared one of the most emotional tributes, remembering Van Der Beek as a beautiful soul. She spoke about his wisdom, his warmth, and the profound love he had for his wife and children. Reed emphasized that beyond the spotlight, he was a deeply present father and partner, a man whose priorities never drifted far from home. Members of the extended Dawson's Creek family also paid tribute, honoring both their shared history and his personal character. Chad Michael Murray offered condolences while recognizing Van Der Beek's influence, not just as a performer, but as a human being whose example inspired others navigating the industry. The messages painted a consistent portrait: professionalism, humility, kindness. No ego, no pretense, just authenticity. Actor David Boreanaz described Van Der Beek as a straight-up gentleman full of kindness, joy, and love, a sentiment echoed repeatedly across tributes. Jennifer Garner called his passing heartbreaking, reflecting the broader grief felt by colleagues who had crossed paths with him over the years. Melissa Joan Hart shared memories from early in his career, recalling his generosity on set and the devotion he showed to his family even as fame accelerated around him. These weren't generic condolences. They were personal reflections from people who had experienced his character firsthand. The wave of grief extended far beyond his immediate co-stars. Jamie Lynn Sigler called him everything good in this world. Emma Slater, his partner on Dancing with the Stars, said she was devastated, adding that he would always feel like family. Lance Bass wrote that Van Der Beek made this world a better place. Christy Brinkley praised his deep devotion to his wife and children. Actors such as Olivia Munn, Zoe Saldana, and Alec Baldwin also shared condolences, with Baldwin remembering him as a true gentleman in personal encounters. The breadth of voices speaking out illustrated something powerful. Van Der Beek's impact stretched across genres, generations, and circles of fame. While fans celebrate his on-screen legacy, those closest to him point to a different role as his greatest achievement: fatherhood. He is survived by his wife and 6 children, who were frequently referenced in tributes as the center of his world. Friends described him as present, intentional, and deeply loving at home. Someone who measured success less by box office numbers and more by bedtime stories, family time, and shared experiences. Even as he faced cancer, he reportedly focused on creating memories with his children, a legacy far more personal than any television role, though Dawson's Creek remains his most iconic work. Vander Beek spent years reshaping his career in meaningful ways. He took on comedic roles, reality television appearances, and self-aware performances that poked fun at his teen idol image, showing a willingness to evolve and not take himself too seriously. Fans admired that reinvention. It revealed an actor comfortable in his own skin. He wasn't chasing past glory. He was building a fuller identity beyond it. As news spread, fans began sharing clips, quotes, and memories online. Scenes from Dawson's Creek resurfaced, emotional monologues, romantic confessions, and the introspective narration that defined the show's tone. For many viewers, revisiting those moments felt like saying goodbye to a piece of their own youth, because losing Vander Beek wasn't just losing an actor, it was losing a symbol of an era. In the end, the tributes converged on a single truth. James Vander Beek was loved not just for his performances, but for who he was, a colleague who uplifted others, a friend who stayed grounded, a husband who adored his partner, a father who cherished his children. His death at just 48 leaves an undeniable void in Hollywood, in his family, and in the hearts of fans who grew up watching him dream on screen. Yet his legacy endures. Through the characters he brought to life, through the people he inspired, and through the family he left behind. James Vander Beek may be gone, but he will never be forgotten